right off the bat, the Blue Jays are headed to the World Series, and I am very excited about that, which means you are going to see the hat for at least another week or so while the World Series kicks off on Friday and then goes over the next week as well. So maybe next week, the Blue Jays hat will be busted out. But we are going to be talking about UFC 321 on this quick pick segment. Again, it is the quick pick segment, which means that I will be getting to the point for every single matchup and leaving out plenty of details. So if you are still wondering why I'm choosing a certain side after viewing this quick picks segment, make sure you guys check out the MMA Lawcast where I went over an hour talking about all 14 fights on this card, and I'm sure I'll answer any of your questions with that podcast. So make sure you guys check that out. Link for that will be in the description below, or just check out the YouTube page and you can find it there. All right. Hope you're laced up and ready to go because we're off and running with the first fight of the night between Jacqueline Amorim and Mizuki Inoue. Inoue is looking to come back after a 2-year-long layoff, but unfortunately she's facing a very tough Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and I think it's just a matter of time before Amorim finds that position to force the tap. Next up, we got Maksum going up against Mitch Raposo. I've given Raposo the benefit of the doubt a lot in his last couple of fights, but I feel like this is a bad matchup for him. Look for Maksum to stuff the takedowns of Raposo and control the striking realm, maybe even landing a few takedowns of his own, but I think Maksum ends up grinding this fight out and winning it on the scorecards. Next up, we got Hamdi Abdelwahab going up against Chris Barnett. Barnett looking to return after that Achilles injury that he was suffering through, even in that Kennedy and Zechuku fight. Unfortunately for him, I think the grappling of Abdelwahab, which is something he hasn't leaned on as much in the past, but we'll see him lean on it this time to really shut Barnett's striking game down, and I think that will lead to Abdelwahab winning this fight on the scorecards. Next up, we got Nathaniel Wood going up against Jose Delgado. I do like me some Wood in this spot, as I think that he's going to do a solid job of thwarting the power striking of Delgado, being competitive in the striking realm, but also pulling off some grappling opportunities for him to grind this fight out and win it on the scorecards. Next up, we got Walter Walker going up against Louis Sutherland. I do believe Sutherland is a mediocre opponent and one that could find some success if he can avoid the early heel hook danger of Walker, but I don't think he's going to be able to avoid that danger, and I look for Walker to add another heel hook submission win to his record. Next up, we got Abdul Karim Al-Selwady going up against Matthias Camilo. It's been over a year and a half since we've seen Al-Selwady in competition, but I think this is a great fight for him to come back to, showcasing his improved striking, his takedown game, and then obviously his BJJ game, which has been helped him be successful throughout his career. I expect him to do it once again here as he wins this fight by submission. Next up, we got Ludovic Klein going up against Mateusz Rebecki. I'm not a big Klein fan, and I think that Rebecki has underperformed in his career so far, but I think that Klein has the perfect style of precision striking, good movement, and good enough takedown defense to batter Rebecki on the feet, similar to what Chris Duncan was able to do to him. That should lead to Klein winning this fight on the scorecards. Next up, we got Ikram Aliskerov going up against Junyoung Park. I think Aliskerov will be exposed this matchup as he has gone 3-1 in the UFC so far. I still expect him to struggle with Park's pesky jab, pressure, and pace. And once this fight starts hitting that second and third round, I expect Park to really start running away with this matchup and eventually finding a finish in the second or third round. Next up, we got Nasrat Haqparast going up against Salkilld. This fight was put together on somewhat short notice, as it's always a good spot for Haqparast to be performing in Abu Dhabi. Unfortunately for him, I think he's going to struggle against the Muay Thai and BJJ of Salkilld. We've seen Haqparast start to decline in his wins recently. Even though he's on a 5-fight winning streak, I think Salkilld has the perfect recipe to cause Salkilld some issues and firmly showcase that Haqparast does not deserve to win a decision once this fight hits the scorecard. So give me Salkilld and Salkilld by decision. That brings us to the main card now, where we got Alexander Rakic going up against Azamat Murzakanov. I think that this is a good fight for Rakic to stay away from the big power of Murzakanov, chip away at him with his calf kicks, maybe mix in some grappling, but I think that Rakic is going to be too big and too strong for Murzakanov, which should lead to Rakic finding that knockout and getting his hand raised. Next up, we got Alexander Volkov going up against Jailton Almeida. I feel like this is a perfect fight for Almeida to showcase his grappling dominance once again. Volkov has shown some improvements in his own grappling game, as we saw in his last fight, but I think Almeida will be able to shuck that off, get to his dominant positions, and eventually find a finish within a round and a half. Next up, we got Umar Nurmagomedov going up against Mario Bautista. I think Nurmagomedov has Bautista covered pretty much everywhere, but this fight will surely play out closer than the odds indicate. So I don't mind a small shot on Bautista for some people, but as an official prediction, I'm going to go Nurmagomedov by decision. Next up, we got Vina Jandiroba going up against Mackenzie Dern for the vacant strawweight title. This is a rematch of a fight that took place back in December of 2020, which is when Dern came up victorious by unanimous decision. I expect her to replicate that performance by putting together a better body of work with the striking, scrambling well in the grappling, and then once this fight hits the scorecards, I think it'll be pretty obvious that Dern wins this fight and new strawweight champion Mackenzie Dern. That brings us now to the heavyweight title fight in the main event, as we have champion Tom Aspinall looking to fend off Cyril Gane. I believe Aspinall's physical advantages here from his speed and power will prove too much for Gane. Gane has some good physical attributes himself, but I really think it's going to be Aspinall touching him up on the feet with the power, but also mixing in a few takedowns, and I think that should lead to a finish within 2 rounds. And still, heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall. There you guys go. Quick picks for UFC 321. I will be back tomorrow for the Lockheed Trinity Lockheed 2-step free parlay. I'll see you guys again. Peace.